Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Free Knowledge with Abhishek Anand. Today we are going to learn about a new thing, which is known as a linear. We'll use a laser marker, which is absolutely a great feature here. So this is nothing but linear expression. Today we are going to learn about linear expression versus linear equation. Now in this video, by the end of the video, you will be able to figure out what is an expression and what is an equation. So for the timing, let us understand what is an expression. An expression is in the form of a function. Is in the form of function. Like a function is defined by fx equal to 4x plus 6 plus 7x plus 8. Now this particular expression is nothing but a linear expression. Linear expression. Now let us understand why linear, why the word linear, and why expression. And this function is basically an expression which defines that there is a particular constant and a variable. Okay, there's a particular constant and variable. Now what is this constant and variable? We will understand like here by plus variable. Okay, what is this constant? Any number. So whenever you have to mark it, we will use the laser. Any number is a constant, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Any number is a constant. Now what is variable? Any x, y, z, a, b, c used as an alphabets used in a expression will be a variable. Now why variable? Since x value is not known to me, that's why it's a variable. Variable means which can vary. Variable means which can vary. So depending upon the expression, the value of x can vary actually. So here in the above function, if you see, so fx is equal to 4x plus 6 plus 7x plus 8. This is nothing but a machine. It's a machine where if you put different values of x, it will give different value of the function. So this is known as input, this is known as output. For the timing, let us take the value of x equal to f2. That means wherever there is a x, we have to substitute by 2. So 4 into 2 plus 6 plus 7 into 2 plus 8 gives 8 plus 6 plus 14 plus 8. 14 plus 14 plus 8 gives 36. So that means in this particular case, if the input is 2, the machine gives output of 36. So basically it works as a machine, right? Where the input is 2, then you have an output of 36. In the similar fashion, if we take the value f equal to 3, then let us understand what will be the value. 4 into 3 plus 6 plus 7 into 3 plus 8. I guess this is the right thing. Yeah. So it becomes 12 plus 6 plus 21 plus 8 gives you 18 plus 29 gives you 747 answer. Okay, so when x is input as 3, output is 47. Hence you can see this works as an expression. This works as an expression, and this expression function contains constants and variables. Okay, now here if you say this linear, why linear? So we haven't explained yet why it is linear. Whenever the highest power of x is 1, that means it's linear. Right now in this expression, if you see, what is the highest power of x? If there is nothing, that means it is 1. If there is nothing, that means it is 1. So here we understand that if the highest power in an expression is 1, it's linear. If the highest power in the expression is 2, it's quadratic. If the highest power of x is 3, it's known as cubic. We'll restrict ourselves to upper 3. So in our case only these three are valid, and we will be actually, so most of our life equations will be restricted to cubic. So it can be now quadratic also depends upon, we will further study about this quadratic in a different video. For the time being, we will restrict ourselves to only linear. Okay, now this is all about fx, about anything 2x plus 6 plus 9x is an expression. So fx can be also as 2x square plus 6x plus 7. Now this is linear. Why? Because in this expression the highest power of x is 1, but here if you see the highest power becomes 2. There's also a power 1, but we will take the highest power, so highest power is 2. That's how we do it. Now this happens to be called as expression. We learn about expressions. What are expressions? When we input something, we get an output. Now let us understand what is an equation, and then we will understand what is linear equation. First, understand about equation. Whenever there is a LHS equal to RHS, then we have an equation. That means for an equation, you always will have a equal, and there will be some left hand side section and there will be some right hand side section. Okay, so if 3x plus 4, which is an expression, and if this expression is equated to with another expression 3x plus 7 plus 2x, this is also a separately an expression. So see this, if two expressions are equated with an equal sign, that means it is an equation. Now here is the LHS side, left hand side, and here it is a RHS side, right hand side section. Now whenever two expressions are being equated with something, that's known as a equation. Let us solve an example. 4x plus 3 gives you 7 plus 8. So this is an equation. Why equation? This is expression. Which kind of expression? Only constant, no variable. And this is also an expression with constant. What is the constant part? 3. And variable. What is the variable part? 4x. Hence there must be a value of x for which this left hand side will become equal to the right hand side. Okay, so we can see very easily 4x plus 3 equal to 15. Now what should be the value of x so that the left hand side becomes equal to right hand side? It's very simple. If you can see, if we take the value of x equal to 3, that becomes 12 plus 3 becomes 15. 15 becomes 15. Okay, hence there is a x input 3 and we get this equation equated. But here, not unlike an expression, there can be only one value of x, and that's 3. So it's not a function where we'll keep changing the value of x and the equation will get equated. No, now why it is a linear equation? linear equation, if the entire equation where LHS is equated to some RHS and the highest power of variable is equal to 1 for the entire LHS and RHS side, okay, then it will be called as a linear equation. Now what does that mean? If x plus 6 plus 9 is equal to 4x plus 3, you'll have a LHS side, you have a RHS side, you can see. Let us take a laser, and if you see the highest power is 1 here, here also the highest power of x is 1. So hence the highest power, for if we saw the entire LHS equal to RHS, we saw the highest power of x equal to 1. Then remember the answer of answer of x will be also only one value. Only one will satisfy this entire equation. Hence it is known as linear equation. That means the number of, and this value of whatever this value will be here, whatever this value will be, is known as roots, root of equation. That means basically what I'm trying to say is, if x is there whose highest power is 1, there will be only one value of x that will satisfy this equation. Now you can ask me that, Abhishek, can there be more value of x? Yes, there can be more value of x, provided the equation has to be quadratic. That means if there is an equation x square plus 4x plus 6 equal to 9x plus 3, if you see the highest power of x, there are two here, 1 and slash 2. If the highest power is 2, then the equation becomes quadratic. And then there are two values of x, x1 and x2. There will be two values of x which will satisfy this equation. Hence you can see the number of solutions of x depends upon what? Depends upon the power. Which power? Highest power of x. Hence here there will be two values of x which can satisfy this equation. I mean, it will be for x1, just wait, for x1 if we put some value, then also LHS will become equal to RHS, and x2 if we put the value, then also LHS will become RHS. For the time being, we will restrict ourselves only to linear equation like this one. Okay, so quadratic equation, we will be talking about this quadratic equation in the next video, and there is a particular method to solve the quadratic equation. Now that comes as, if there 4 plus 9x plus 7, then x will be having only one solution. If quadratic equation will be there, then x will be having two solutions. And if cubic root will be there, cubic equation will be there, then x will be having very good three solutions. Hence of x defines the number of roots of equation. Currently we are talking about linear equation, so we will see some example of linear equation. Example number 1. Find the value of x. So how do we solve this? 4x plus 9 equal to 3x plus 6. So we will do some operations so that the variable should come on one side and the constant should come on the another side. Okay, so 4x plus 9, and if we do minus 9 here, we will have to do the same operation here also. So whatever we did here, we have to do here also. So plus 9 minus 9, it becomes 0. So 4x becomes 3x plus 6 minus 9. That means minus, the debt is higher than what you have. So now again here we can see there's a variable and there's a constant. We will try to bring the variable on one side. So whatever the operation that we'll be doing here, it has to be done on this side also. That's the rule of the equation. So 4x equal to 3x minus 3x minus 3, and we will be doing minus 3x on this side also. So here we did minus 3x, so we have to do minus 3x here also. So 4x minus 3x, that means you have 4x and you have 3x. When you subtracted it, 4 minus 3 is 1, so only x will be remaining. Hence the constant value is 4 minus 3 is 1, and 1 into x is nothing but x. Okay, so we can write x equal to 3x minus 3x becomes 0 minus 3. So hence x equal to becomes minus 3. X becomes equal to minus 3 is the answer. Now we can check here by putting x equal to minus 3. So when we put minus 3, so this becomes 4 into minus 3 is minus 12 plus 9 minus 3 on the left hand side. So total left hand side becomes minus 3. And if here we put minus 3, so 3 into minus 3 becomes minus 9 plus 6 gives you minus 3. That means x equal to minus 3 is the right answer, because LHS is become equal to RHS. So this is how we can check our solution, that whatever the solution that we have got is correct or not. So here the answer minus 3 is the correct answer. Okay, so this is how we solve a linear equation. Okay, so further we will define it. This is linear equation in one variable. That means there was only one variable involved in this whole equation, and the variable was x, there was no another variable. In the next video or in the next particular equation class, we will understand linear equation can also involve two variables. That means 4x plus 3y is equal to 9x plus 6y plus 10. So if you can see here, x is also another variable, and y is x and y, they were separate variables involved in that equation. So this is known as linear equation in two variables. So we will be discussing this in another class. For the time being, thank you so much. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe it and spread as much as you can. Thank you so much for watching this video.